Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? This is Eileen, and you are watching Jane Nicole Designs, and welcome to my Facebook Live this morning. Excuse me. It is a halfway beautiful, little bit cooler day today. We have had some pretty warm weather in the last few days, and so it's been one of those. It was a delightful surprise when I woke up this morning and there was a little bit of a breeze, and I'm like, yay, I get to wear jeans. Yeah, long sleeve shirt today. I'm okay with that. And it was one of those where I'm like, oh wow, this is a very, very delightful surprise from up like 80-degree weather. And me, I'm a true Northwesterner. I love 60 to 75. That is my, that's my ultimate great thing. 60 where you can wear a sweatshirt and jeans, and 75 where, you can wear shorts or maybe a tank top. But when it pops up to like 80, 85, I'm a little bit hot to do that. So I'm one of those where when I get hot, I'm just like, okay, I'm done. So thankfully, we have in our house air conditioning. So my husband, Jeffrey, has been so gracious in saying, okay, whenever it's a little bit warm and, I hit 50 and it was one of those where I'm like, AC, that's just it. So anyway, good morning, and let me know where you're watching from. Is this your first time? Go ahead and put hashtag newbie. If you don't see the little live button up there, you're hitting me on the replay, so do hashtag replay, and that just lets me know where you guys and when you guys are watching, which helps me just be able to connect with my audience. So welcome, and today is one of those days where I was super excited and getting ready for the Christmas in July. I yesterday got some stuff together and I was like, woohoo, I can't wait. We're going to be just, whooping it up with Christmas. And then my husband this morning, he was like, Eileen, remember, you have one more week. I'm like, oh, no, I had a Christmas project all ready for this morning. And then I was like, oh, I guess I gotta wait until next week. So anyways, we are gonna do that project, Christmas project next week. And I decided today, it was one of those where I'm kind of going back to the tablescape. That's kind of my fun thing to do when I entertain. I love to make sure that when you're here at my house or wherever we are and I'm entertaining, that you feel special and that you just, it's one of those. I love that. Good morning, Renee. How are you doing? So yes, today we are going to do a little bit of 4th of July. I went to Hobby Lobby last week with my sister Renee. We had a fantastic time. I was super excited. Our Hobby Lobby is like 30 minutes away, and so I was delighted to be able to go and hang out with my sister for a few days. And she's like, "Hey, let's go to Hobby Lobby." I'm like, "Woo! I'm okay. Yes, I would love to." So they have right now. It was like that was Tuesday. Wednesday is when we went. Anyway, so we went there and they had their 4th of July stuff, 40% off. And I was super excited that I got this. I'm like, oh, I'm getting this. We're going to do some projects and things like that. And then I went into Christmas mode and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I can't use this. And now I'm like, yeah, I will. So anyways, I was delighted. So this is at Hobby Lobby. And I'll give you a little bit of a tip. If you go on their website right now, they have a bunch of napkins and things like that are on sale. So I went on there because I was just kind of seeing, there was a couple things that I would love to have in like the napkin stuff so I can keep doing all my projects. And they are having a sale right now. So good morning, Joy. It's good to see you're watching. So go on the Hobby Lobby website, type in napkins, and they have a really nice sale on a lot of them. So they're like, this was like $4.99. They're for like $2.39 or something like that. So that is a really good deal. So I know, I mean, I believe there was a pack that I was looking at, and it was like $6 for one of the little packs. So, you know, you can get some good deals. So Hobby Lobby sale right now. And it's not just 4th of July. There's quite a few different varieties that are on sale. So we're going to be using this today. And so I thought, well, I'm going to be doing a little bit of entertaining, not a ton, but I just wanted to be able to make my my guests feel special, and that they, you know, I thought about it before they came. And that's the one thing I love about hospitality. So there's so many different ways. You don't have to be super crafty. You don't have to be, you know, super like outside the box, but just those little touches of either a special napkin or a plate, flowers, or whatever it is to make people that you know, come in contact with in your home, that you give them a little bit of an extra, you know, like either a favor or a boost or whatever it is, so that when they come and leave, it's memorable. And that's the part that I love to do. So today I was going to give you a little bit of an idea. I have a couple new products that I haven't used, and so we're going to do a little bit of that today. So come along with me. All right, I am going to, we're going to switch back and forth. I have this little tray here, just kind of hoping that we might be using a little bit of painting and things like that. This is a little bit smaller of a tray, and we're going to be using plates and things like that. So I want to either, or I might just either use it just like the tray, or I'm going to flip it upside down just so that we have a good space to work on. My other trivet, it is getting so old and so worn and things like that. It doesn't stay straight. It kind of like teeter-totters back and forth. So that is one thing. I love using it. But when it gets old and rickety, don't try and fix it. I tried. It's a miserable mess, and I put my paints on it right now. So it's always good to make sure that you have a good trivet or a space that you can turn and things like that, because when you paint and whatnot, you want to be able to have a great surface. So, all right, so what we're going to do today, I have a couple different things. We're going to do a can, and we're going to do some Mod Podging on the silverware. We're going to do cups, because I want my cups to match. I know, that's just me. And then I have these are from Shinette. These are some clear little plates. And so we're going to be doing Mod Podge. And the fun thing that I found, and I don't know if you guys have seen it, it's probably, you know, super old, but I haven't found it. But you know how we always use the Mod Podge, and that's, you know, there's so many different types. This is Mod Podge that you can put in the dishwasher, so you can put it on cups and things like that. We're going to be using that maybe a little bit later on today. But the new and fun thing, I know I have it hiding over here. Go ahead and take a screenshot of it. But this is Mod Podge, and it is in a spray bottle. So it is spray on all-in-one glue. I'm just going to kind of read it. It's a sealer, which that's what we need today, is sealing a product, indoor and outdoor. So it says no brush strokes, and it's durable, and it's non-tacky, which I love, because if you're using napkins and then you stick it on there and then you put your hands off, it's like it sticks to your fingers, and then you've got pieces of your image that's missing and things like that. So I am super excited about that. So we're going to try this. I have used it once just to kind of see what it was like, and it was on a tin can that was painted with chalk. So we're going to see how that goes. So that's kind of where we're going. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want my guests, as we come, you know, they come in, I want them to just start the theme of what I'm doing. And so I got this this is a little, you can use it either way. So this is a little pop can. You know, some people do it this way. Today I'm going to flip it around, and I got this at the Dollar Tree. So just go ahead. They have some really fun tin and wooden projects that are really, really nice. So I would say if you're in the crafty mood, go to the Dollar Tree store or the Dollar General. I've heard that all around the US. But this is where it's at. Okay, so today what we're gonna do, this project, I'm gonna take Waverly White, and this is chalk paint, and I am just going to be doing a little thin coat of this because I want my image to go on here, but I don't necessarily want the tin to show through. I'm just gonna paint the top here. And like I said, this is a paint, you could put it in a little tray. This is a nice enough brush. I'm just gonna dip, and long enough, I'm just gonna dip my, my paintbrush in there. And like I said, I just want a little rim around there. I don't wanna go around the outside. And I am going to take one coat. I don't really need two for this project because I'm going to be putting the napkin over the top, but I want it just to have a opaque background. And like I said, this is chalk paint and it will dry like a matte finish. And I'm just being a little careful. I don't want to go crazy around there. And I'm shaky, so I have kind of like a little bit of a wavy line going on, which is okay. That's when you get a craft from me and you want a straight line, you won't get it. It's just not there. But I'm gonna go around the outside here. And then I'm gonna pick a way. I'm gonna go up and down this time. But I wanna just pick one way to brush the strokes. And then, there we go. Oh, hold on. Got a little spot here. And what I love about tin is you can wash it and then put a little bit of alcohol, rubbing alcohol, the isopropyl alcohol on it. And that will take any grease. If you have hand lotion on, I've tried that where I started painting and I had lotion on my hands and it was like, oh, okay. Okay, all right. So I'm just using my hair dryer. I don't want to use my heat tool because some of my stuff that I'm using is plastic today and we're just gonna have to be noisy. So let me dry this. Okay, sorry about the noise, but you know me, I'm a McDonald's. I need to have it done quickly. So this is what it looked like. You can see there's a little bit of some lines and whatnot, and I'm okay with that. I just want it to be able to put my image on there. Okay, so now here comes the fun part. I'm going to take my napkin, and I haven't even opened up the pack yet. So while you're waiting, what's your weather like? Did you guys get the hot heat and then now cooling down? I know on the west side, I heard almost that you guys had some rain in the last couple days. So let me know what you guys are up to. Okay, so this right here, this is I'm gonna have to get my specs on so I can see. All right, so this is I believe 2-ply napkin. Some of them are 3, so, oh, hold on, I can't even see. I've got so much, I think I even have like Mod Podge on my glasses. Let me get them going here. Okay. There we go, much better. All right, so sometimes these have 2 to 3 layers on them, and I want to make sure that when I do a project like this, if I want it to be a little bit opaque and it's just sitting on there, I would just do just like it is. But if I want to make sure or have a little bit of see-through kind of factor, I do take off the different layers. And how I do that is I just pull a corner, and usually it's where this one here, it's right there. It's got the copyright on it. And so, you know, we don't want that on our project. So if you are going to be using the corners, make sure that you take off that copyright. Okay, so I got it started. It looks like it is a two ply. So I'm just going to take this one off. But first of all, I'm going to cut it because I want to keep my image and use this more than once. So I just want this one little spot here. I worked in the automotive industry, and my dad kind of had a truck like this when he owned the shop. And so it was one of those, I'm like, oh, that's super perfect. So like I said, it's 2 ply. So I'm going to pull this apart, and this is garbage. You can keep it. I don't know exactly what you would do with it other than dry your hands off. But anyway, the second thing I'm going to do to be able to make this work is, if you have one of these, this is a water pen. And it's got really light bristles in it. You can also use it with ink pads, and you can use it as a watercoloring with the ink, and you dip it in the ink and color different images. But today I'm going to be using it just to take out the image here. What I want is I don't want to start line around it. I kind of just want to make a little line around where I want it to go. And I just have a little, you can fill this pen with water, but I just have a little dish of water over here that I'm just going to dip in where I want it to go. And I'm not going to take the stars around there. So I just want to make sure that all I want is that image. So you see where the water is around there. And we've done this before, but sometimes people are watching for the first time, and I just don't want to skip a step here. So I'm going to let everyone know that, you know, sometimes we've done this a few times, and I just want to make sure that I pass on the good crafting tips. So all I am is just, you know, tearing off this. I want it a little bit jagged because it will, when I put the Mod Podge, it'll blend into the background of the white there. And I'm gonna just back and forth, and you can also lay it down, and then sometimes when I want it really jagged, I will just take my finger and fingernail and just scrape off the sides. So this, if you want to keep this, you could for a different project, but this is our image that we have right now. Okay, so now that I have my piece of my foundation here, I've got my chalk paint on there. Now I'm ready, and this is what it's gonna look like. Isn't that fun? It's super simple, no biggie, but here's the exciting part. So this is, I'm going to use the Mod Podge. This is it says Ultra on it, but this is the spray we're going to use today. So this is all it says, is just spray it on, and you can brush it, or you can pour it on there, but I don't know why. I mean, it's a spray. And it says to prevent rips, you can do a couple different coats. So I'm just going to take it, spray it on there, and then watch this. This is so exciting. I'm just going to tap down my image. If I wanted it super smooth, I would take a piece of like plastic, but this one here, I want it bumpy. I want it to look aged on it. And that's it. That's all you do. I'm just pressing it with my finger. If you want to, you could tap it with either a brush or something like that, but I don't want this image here. I don't want it to rip. I want it to be wrinkled and then, you know, put down there so that I've got some bumps and grooves and things like that in it. Okay, and then I'm going to spray another coat on the top. It's almost like hairspray kind of thing, where you just a little bit here and there. And you can see on there, there's a little bit of like bumps and things like that. And I love that. I want some texture on there because the next step we're going to do, I want a little bit of texture to stay on. my surface. Okay, so I'm just looking, you see on there, there's a little bit of bumps and things. I'm okay with that. Like I said, if you want it to be completely flat on there, take a piece of saran wrap and use that and then just smooth it out. And the cool thing is I'm feeling it's not sticky. Remember I was talking about that, ooh, it's gonna stick and then peel off this piece of napkin, but it is not doing that. So, okay, we're gonna dry it because I wanna make sure that I don't have any, that it's not wet. So let me do that real quick. Make sure that it is pretty well all dry. So that's what it looks like. There's a little bit of splotches, which is fine. I'm going to actually put some wax on it, so we don't need to worry about that. And do you see on there, yep, it's got some little wrinkles and things like that. So that is exactly what I want. And then, you know, it is kind of warm, so just be careful. I have pretty resilient hands and they can get pretty warm and whatnot. So just be careful about that. You don't want to burn yourself. So, all right. So that was like, what, 30 seconds and, you know, something that's super, super quick, very fast. So what we're going to do now is I found, while I was on my little shopping spree, I found, this is called White Forest. It is Deco Art Metallic Luster. And so I'm going to put this on here because I want it just to do a little bit of kind of like catch your eye when you come in. I'm going to actually put this on my front door. It's going to take off what I had. And look at this. It is like the perfect like white, even for Christmas stuff. I'm going to be using this a ton because it just has that little reflection of either snow or, you know, just something a little bit sparkly. So what I'm going to do with this one is I have several, I have to show you this. This is my little jar that I use for this is all my wax brushes and the different things that I use for when I use clay and whatnot. So this is a great, this is a tin can. This is this is, I took molds and put glue in it, the hot glue, and it dried, and then I glued it on here. So that's another project that's super fun. But I'm just going to take just a stipple brush. This is, you know, I use white and clear wax with this. And so today we're going to try this. You can use your fingers. You can use a brush. I'm going to just try it. I mean, I'm dipping in for the first time. I just want to see what's going on here. Oh, yes. So I'm just going to take my brush and I'm going to go around the outside of it just to see. I'm going to start off with that. And then I will see where my creative juices take me. Because I think this would be really fun just to have a little bit of a, I want my image to pop out, and this will give it a little bit of definition around the outside. And then we'll see. I might even just cover this whole thing. I don't know yet. We'll have to. Okay. And it does. This luster dries really quick. So I think I am. I'm going to take a little piece of my, let me look here. I've got a few things here to be able to apply it with. Here we go. Let's use this one. So this is just a little foam brush. We're going to try this and see what this does. Oh, this is even better. So now I'm going to get it a little bit more, almost like sparkly. I'm just going to go around the outside. And this is one of those where I would think this would be really beautiful if you use this wax for wedding stuff. If you wanted to, like I said, it's the ultimate snow scene. And I think that would be awesome to do it that way. So let's just give it a little bit of a texture to it. So when you look at it, it sparkles in the sun and just kind of catches your eye. Like I said, you could do this to the whole thing. You could do just, I mean, take just the white. I'm actually going to do a little bit of shading on it, I think. So I'm going to go underneath here, and I'll show you what it does. When I can get it on here, I'm going to do a little bit of the windows. There we go. It's super fun. Okay. I could do this all day long. Okay. Let's do the stars. And then what you can do is just take your paper towel and then just start rubbing on it. And that will take a little bit of it off and make it not so stark. And it'll just start showing up in different places. Okay, so that's what it looks like. See how it's got that little bit of a deviation of different texture and whatnot? And so when you come to my door, it's gonna have this little reflection of 4th of July. And so that's kind of how you do it. So if you wanted to, you could, because this is wax, it seals that chalk paint. So it's perfect. I don't know if I would bring this outside in like rain, but I would definitely, you know, on my front porch and things like that. So that's the start of it all. Okay, so that is kind of like the first thing. Now, I have an idea. I am going to be using, we're going to be doing a little bit of barbecuing. And so we have friends we're going to go out on our boat this weekend, and we have friends that are coming, and I want them to feel special when they eat on the boat. So this is my second thing we're going to do. And that's why I love the spray product. This is going to go pretty quick. So like I said, this is Chinette. It is clear. I've had these for a little while. I think I used them for, I got them at, I think like a Safeway or something like that. And I got them for New Year's. And so I put vinyl on the back, and I put some sparkles and things like that. And then I had like 10 of them left. I'm like, oh, okay. So I always just kind of keep it. My mom always tells me, you know, honey, you just save it for later because you might be using it. And she's very right. Okay, I'm going to be using it. So when you use a plate, you don't want to be eating on Mod Podge. That's not okay, because just what's Mod Podge? It's got, you just don't want to eat on it. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do the back of the plate and be able to use it that way, so that when you have your food on the top of your plate, you don't have Mod Podge. So this is how you do it. I'm going to do a 2-layer, and that's why I love the spray on. Let me clean up my spot here. I kind of got a few things open, and I just want to make sure that and oh, I was going to let you know about this. The luster, you can actually, this is a paste, and sometimes it dries out, and I was like, oh, that's not good. What if you're doing a project and you walk away or something happens and you're like, eek. So what you can do is you can actually put a little bit of water in this, because you can actually use it like a paint too. Put a little bit of water in it, close it up, let it sit for a few hours, go back and see, and you can actually revive this paint or paste. And I was like, woohoo, because I try to clean up as I go, but just to know that. The other fun colors, I have rose gold. Let's see if I can, there we go, rose gold. And then this one's super fun. This is called Black Shimmer. And this is almost like a chrome. And we used it, I think last week or the week before. And this one is super, super fun. I'm sure eventually get all of the colors because they're absolutely beautiful. This is the pink, and it's like a rose gold pink. It's beautiful. So that is my new and favorite fun thing to do. I love it. Okay, so what we're gonna do, same thing. I'm gonna take, actually we'll just take a couple of these. I'll do 2 plates and then finish off the other ones just for time's sake. But I wanted you guys to get the idea, and I'm actually gonna go down the side here. We're gonna do the same thing. But on this one, I'm not gonna peel them apart and make it super light. I'm actually going to take my brush and we're gonna just go around the image, and I wanna make sure that, I'm gonna put this off to the side. I'm gonna keep the white layer underneath because I want it to be a little bit more bright because of that clear background. So there we go. I just went around my image. Not that it has to be perfect. You can do whatever you would like. I mean, you could totally just, you know, put the whole thing on there. Whatever's good. I know some of the florals and things like that, it's super fun to be able just to take 1 or 2 of the flowers out of the napkins, or, you know, it just all depends on what you want to do. So I want to make sure that you know that just it's whatever you want to do. And that's what I love about projects like this. So there we go. The other thing is let me know, are you guys doing anything for the holiday that you get to make a craft? Or wouldn't this be fun to host a gathering and this is what your guests get to do before you eat? They get to make their own plates, and I think that would be fun as well. It's always great to just involve your guests into what you're doing, or make them feel special. Just whatever's good. Okay. So I know this year I don't get to shoot off fireworks at our usual spot. And so we are having to go watch fireworks, and which is okay. Every once in a while, I have 4th of July's that we don't shoot. I used to shoot for shoot fireworks for a fireworks company, and my pyro dad, that's what we call him, we would go and shoot fireworks. And a few years after we were doing a couple shows, we had one year where we weren't shooting fireworks. And so I had to call them and say, hey, how you doing? Is it okay that you're not shooting fireworks off? You're watching fireworks for the holiday. But that is one of my favorite things. I am a pyro at heart. I love it. Okay, so here we go. And it is okay. They're a little wet on the sides there. Totally fine. No big deal. Okay, so we're going to put these off to the side. And I think I will put my trivet off to the side too. Hold on. There we go. Okay, now this is super fun. I'm going to double layer it. So I almost want to look like the plates are sitting on a picnic cloth. So I'm going to just take this, and we're going to get 2 of them out because I kind of want to do this with the Mod Podge spray right quick at hand. So there we go. We'll get our 2 accent pieces. And so how this works is we kind of got to think through here. So if you want to put this on, you want both of these on here, the truck needs to go on first, and then our backing of the picnic table kind of look. So let's see how this goes, and we'll see. I have not done this with the spray yet, so let's get ready. Okay, so go ahead and just put a nice amount on there. Like I said, it is backwards. I want to make sure that the china, it's not like, the logo is right side. And we're just going to put that on there. Just see how it soaks it up. Love it. And like I said, I want it to look wrinkly, so I'm not gonna take my saran wrap, and I'm just gonna pat it down. And just see how that looks. I know it's like, woohoo. Okay, do you see all the kind of, it's okay, it's okay. So you see all the little bubbly and run whatever of that. The Mod Podge will dry clear, so don't worry about that. So if there's wrinkles and things like that, go ahead. If you want to smooth it out, do whatever you would like. Okay, now I'm going to take, that looks awesome. Okay, so there's our first one. Now I'm going to take and go all the way around the outside. I want a generous amount. And then I want to flip it over. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And I'm just going to push it down just like that. I am going to also take the second layer and I'm going to take that off. Let's see, if I just thought, maybe I want 2 of them on there, but I think just having 1 on here will work better. Yep. So we'll do that on the second one. We'll take that off first. Okay. So like I said, we're just gonna kind of play with it, see how it sticks. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's definitely, it's one of those. We're gonna put another layer on the top. And I'm just pushing it down with my hands. I love that it sticks really well. Okay, so right here I have a little bit of a tear. I can move it around. And you could just leave it if you wanted to, as you don't have to. Okay, so there we go. And I just made sure that where I want this to be stuck down, like I said, there's little wrinkles and things like that. That is totally fine. Do go around the outside edges just to make sure that it sticks where you want it to. Wow, this is awesome. Okay, you got to try this, all right? I want to hear and see pictures if you decide to do this project, because wow. And I got this at Hobby Lobby, but I've also seen it at Walmart. So Joann's has it as well, and I think it's like $6, something like that, $6 or $7, which that's you know, it's around and about what these are. I think these are $5.99. But that's what it is. Okay, so here we go. We're going to dry it off. Wait to see what the edge looks like. Okay, so now I'm going to take my my pen here, the water pen, and I'm going to go around the outside. And then let's get my trick here. I'm going to get my pan. There we go. And then just let it soak in for a second. And then pull down ever so lightly. If you want to have no edge there, after it dries completely, you can put a sanding block and just lightly, ever so lightly, pull and then sand. But I think for right now, I'm just gonna pull lightly on it. Oh, let's get this. You could, if you wanted to, do this beforehand, but I was a little bit leery on pulling it off beforehand, because if I moved my, there we go. Abby, I'll call you back in a minute. Sorry about that, sister. There we go. She probably has no idea that I'm on live still. It's one of those, my house is super quiet. Everybody's off to work and I get to play / work at the same time. I think it's awesome. All right, so this napkin is still a little bit wet on the outside here because I'm using this water. So I would recommend to, after you're done with this, I would keep it, you know, for a few hours, just letting it dry. But I wanted the middle to be a little bit dry so that it wouldn't, this napkin would not move anywhere. But like I said, I'm just going around. And like I said, if you want to, you can have a little bit of tear on the side. It's up to you. And this would be really fun for a birthday party. You could have the, you know, for kids, you could have the kids make their own plates. Easter, Halloween, whatever. I think this would be a really fun project to do at the same time as you're, so that you get, you know, I always do craft. It's one of those. I have a fetish. I like to do crafts at birthday parties. So it would be fun to do this and make your own plate, go out and play a little bit, let this dry, and then you got to eat off of your plate. So, okay, let me spray this one more time right here. So now that the Mod Podge is all on this side, you can totally eat off of it. And that's what makes this project perfect for that occasion. Okay, so I'm just kind of pushing it on the little pieces that are on the outside. Are you ready? There we go. That is super cool. I am excited about that. So now I get to have napkins that match my plates. And then we're gonna do one more thing. Well, at least one more thing. So just think about that. What can you put in the inside? Either stars, or like I said, you could do this for Christmas. This would be beautiful for, you know, a wedding. That would be super fun for a shower, that kind of thing. Baby shower. If you know, some of the new themes and things like that, they have beautiful napkins, but the plates, I'm a huge plate person. So if I get a plate that's all like flimsy and I end up, you know, whatever it is that's on there, I really want to make sure that I am able to keep my food on my plate. So that's why I like to use this kind of thing where it's nice and plastic and it's sturdy and whatnot. So, okay, so here's the other thing I was going to do. So here's my forks that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to wash my hands because I don't want my guests or anything to have stuff on I need to have clean hands when I do this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take just the end here of our fork, and we're going to Mod Podge on some of the napkins. So I'm just gonna rip off a piece here of the napkin that we used. Actually, nope, because that had that other Mod Podge on it. I want a fresh napkin. Let's do it sanitary, right? Okay. So I'm just gonna cut off a piece here. Let's get my scissors. And I'm gonna leave both layers on because I want it to look a little bit opaque. And right now, what we're going to be doing, like I said, time-wise, I'm looking at my time and I'm like, we're going to only do one of each because I don't want to get too long for you guys. But I want to show you what the whole thing is going to look like. Okay, so there's a little bit of ribbing on here. I don't want that. I don't want bumpies on my fork handle. So I'm just going to cut off that top right there. So this right here, this is you can use it for fabric, but it is also dishwasher safe. So this is the Mod Podge I'm going to use. Now, it is absolutely like paste. It's not moving very far. So what I like to do with this Mod Podge is I take a little tin can, this is a tuna can, and I'm actually going to take a little bit of the Mod Podge. I'm going to use this flat brush right here, and I'm going to put it in there and see how it is. Like I said, it doesn't move. And I'm going to put a little bit in my container, and I'm going to take a little bit of water and just lightly just make it a little bit more pliable in there, because I want to make sure that it doesn't get too goopy. That would be kind of gross, trying to use a fork with a bunch of goopy Mod Podge on it. So I want it a little bit thinned out. There we go. So just like that. And I'll be able to use the Mod Podge and so I'm going to hold it like this because I don't really want Mod Podge to get on the fork that you actually put in your part, and you put it in your mouth. So I'm going to go on the back side and the front and the sides. There we go. Just see how I have a little bit on there. I want this to be a little bit more generous because I have both of the plies of the napkin. I have 2 ply on there. If I were to do the single, I don't know if I would do as heavy. But go ahead and just take your, wherever you want it to be. I'm going to go kind of like right down the white and the red. I'll push my finger where it is, and then make sure it's a little straight. There we go. Now I'm just going to cut around it. And I want it to kind of, we're going to take our water again, and I want it to go out a little bit so that it creases over each other. So just going to go and kind of go on each side. I want to let it, the water go through both layers of the napkin. And then I'm going to pull it over, push it down, and then I'm going to tear so that I don't tear it too short. All right, there we go. So it looks like that. Then I want to put a little bit more Mod Podge on there because I'm going to be putting the other side over the top. And then this is where the fun part, you kind of gotta finesse. There we go. And then I just put my finger in there, put it down, and then go ahead and tear off to the side. I usually just cut off the end because it kind of, yeah, just to be able to, just like that. And then go ahead and just mold, put a little Mod Podge on there, mold the end over, just like that. Okay, I know it's a lot just to do a fork, but I kid you not. When your guests come over and they see what you've done to make them feel special, there is no way you know, at least for me, I love it. Okay, so that's what it looks like. All right, let's do a knife, and we're gonna let this dry. I'm not gonna put a layer of Mod Podge on the top, just because it is only a one-time use. I'm not going to, you know, my guests and things like that, I doubt they're going to go, oh, well, you need to have another layer on there. I think it should be fine for just one application of using this. So like I said, go ahead wherever you want. And that's the fun part about, you know what, I always get white or clear of everything because it goes with everything. So if you want to personalize your silverware, this is the perfect way to do it. So I have all different, I love birthdays and to be able to do different party themes and whatnot, and to buy all the different colors and whatever. It's, to me, it's just, it's not cost effective. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and just put that right down. Let's see, I want it in the middle, kind of to match. There we go. There, I just kind of want it down the middle of it. All right, let's get the water. We'll go down and around so that, and I'm sure we will have to cut the sides off, which is totally fine. All right, so fold it over and just tap it down with your fingers. Go ahead and pull off the extra. There we go. Put one more layer on there just to make sure that it marries together fine. I'll show you what it looks like so you can get an idea. And like I said, just roll it over, tap it down. And then go ahead and just tear where that water line is. There we go. I'm going to take a little bit of Mod Podge on the end here just to mold it around the end. There we go. Just tap it together. There's our knife to match. Okay, so we've got some silverware. And then the last thing, I'm like, okay, this is super fun. I just couldn't stop. I have to have the whole thing together. So these are just solo cups. You could do red, which would be really fun to be able to coordinate with your picnic theme, but I have to do the cups. So you can just take the napkin of the tablecloth thing. You could go around the whole outside. You could put just a little rim around it. That's kind of fun. But what better way to keep my famous and fun truck thing going on? And we're gonna take and we're gonna Mod Podge that on there. And the cool thing about this one here, like I said, the Mod Podge dries clear, so you don't really have to worry about that. I'm gonna use the dishwasher safe. So if your drink either gets condensation and things like that, you want to make sure that you can get that off. This is no big deal. But I'm going to do both the layers on here. And I'm going to use the dishwasher safe Mod Podge so that it's going to be stuck on here pretty good. Okay, so here's our image. Okay, I'm super excited. Okay, here we go. So now this one here, I usually, when I do Mod Podge that I want it thin, I use these fan brushes because they do a really good job. Okay, I know, isn't that fun, Renee? You never think about silverware. It's kind of one of those last minute things where you're like, oh, well, I guess I could match. And you know us, what do you call it? Our decorating and things like that. I'm one of those. I like to have all of the same things match. Okay, so I'm just going to take my cup, just run it across the top. I'm going to put it right in the middle of the cup here. Do a top layer here. make sure that where it is, and it's okay, like I said, the Mod Podge is going to dry clear. We'll make it a little bit wispy so that it looks intentional that the Mod Podge is there. But I want it straight across the top here. So sorry, I would make it easier for you to see right now, but I want to make sure that it goes on here. Okay, so that's what it looks like. I will put my seam down. Oh, let's move it a little bit. There's a little bit on the corner there, so I'll add some more. I want to make sure that you want the Mod Podge to go completely underneath it. You don't want to have the paper curl up. Okay, so now I'm just going to take it and put Mod Podge on the ends there, making sure that every little spot that I want to stay down stays down, and I will put a whole coat across the top of this. There's some underneath here. It went down a little bit farther than I want. If you want to, you could move and take the napkin off, or you could just, like I said, put another layer of Mod Podge on there. So the cool thing about this, I mean, you really could, if you want to, go ahead and, you know, take your cup home after you're done using it, put it and use it as a pencil holder or pen holder or whatever. It's kind of one of those. You could make it as a souvenir, and I don't know, put different napkins and, you know, all different things. You can make them little flower pots if you want to after you're done. There we go. But this is what it looks like, just like that. Okay, so I'm actually not going to put the hairdryer on this because it is plastic, and I just want to make sure that I don't warp the plastic. Do make sure that you clean every little spot that you're going to have somebody, you know, drinking off the side of. I just got a little piece there, so I'm going to clean that off. And like I said, remember, this is dishwasher safe. So you can go ahead and use a damp cloth. I would not put this through the dishwasher, of course, but you can go ahead and just take a damp cloth and wipe things off, make sure that it's all ready to go. So, okay, are you ready? I am so excited. This is one of those. And the friends that we are going to go out with, I'm sure she's going to go, oh my goodness, she's going to notice. So I'll let you know. I'm sure she will notice that it's hand done by me. So, okay, now let's put that off to the side. Hold on, I just touched where I didn't want to go here. There we go. Make sure that I have that on there. Okay, so I'm going to just pretend this is my little spot here. Let's flip it over because we want the contrast of the plate. Let me clean up. You know me, I like to clean and make sure that things are clean while I'm going here. All right, so isn't this super fun? I absolutely love it. You can go ahead if you want to and put your napkin off to the side here, or I like to actually, I like to put my napkin and then take my silverware and put it on the front, so it makes it intentional that yes, that's okay, that's where it's at. You can put it on the side. You know, I'm not huge on the etiquette of where the cup goes and where the knife and whatnot. And like I said, this one here, the knife, I should put it on this side because I think the sharp part goes into the plate. Whatever is good. So let me know if this is something that you would love to tackle, to be able to customize each of your party wear. I know it's super fun. You can just go to the store and get something that already is on there, but what an amazing way to be able to make your guests feel at home in your home. And that's the thing I love about doing all this personalization. When people come to my house, I love it. I want you to be cared for and loved on and feel special. And so this is one of the ways that how I just kind of give that little extra touch. So my challenge to you is go ahead and try that in the comments. Go ahead and put your ideas of after this live, what do you think that you would like to do for a makeover on your dinnerware, and then put it in the comments. Let me know. And so try it. We'll see how it goes. So last but not least, just want to let you know, if you like this video, go ahead and share it. And I do have an Etsy store, Jane Nicole Designs, where I put some of the things that I make on here, and t-shirts and things like that. You can support my fun and crafting business as we go along. I don't have a regular job. This is what I'm doing right now, and I'm trusting the Lord gives me some wherewithal to be able to keep doing what I'm doing. So thank you so much for hanging out with me for this last hour, and you have a great weekend. Enjoy the festivities. I will be on, maybe I might even just kind of do a little bit of Facebook pictures and things like that of my festivities and whatnot. Do keep in touch with me along for the weekend, and we will see you next Wednesday at 10 a.m. You guys have a fantastic day and enjoy the summer, and happy 4th of July. Take care.